Hello and welcome to round two of Grand Prix Caersol. We are 0-1, so this is an elimination match. But I'm in a great mood. I'm sorry if I felt I sounded a little resigned in the last match. I was I was feeling pretty bad about that matchup. This matchup I feel much better about. Um, Even on the draw, I feel good about it. And yeah, this is exactly the hand I want. Wait for them to keep more mull, and I'll keep this 7. This is a control mirror, so this might take a while. Um, and much like a lot of control mirrors, game one's going to be a little silly because we both have a ton of dead removal. They're mulling to 6. I have like 8 removal spells that have nothing to target. My opponent has like 8 also. Actually, while they're mulliganing, let me go over their deck. They got 1 Atomic Core, they got a Cancel, they got some card draw, that's like card filtering, they got an Edict with no targets, removal spell with no targets, basically, this is 4 mana draw 2. Sorcery Glance, that's very relevant. Casimir's is their big win condition. It's going to be very hard to flip, but if it flipped, it wins the game. Chart the Cosmos for card draw. Eyes Gone Dark is very scary. Nightfall is a 4 mana 4/4 flyer. So, they are on the play because they won the die roll. So, and tapped Enigmatic Fin. Interesting. Discern or chart? Um, hmm. I think it's chart. Hmm. Actually, interesting choice. Um, Would I rather have access to the 3 mana mode on Discern or the 2 mana mode on Chart? I think I'd rather have access to the 2 mana mode, because what I could end up doing is turn 1 Chart, turn 2 Seafloor Treasures, turn 3 Discern plus cracks a Chart, and I want to have access to that play. I'm going to Primal Fissure for Island first. Chart, draw. Ooh, Silent Lakefront's not bad. I'm probably saving that Silent Lakefront to counter something. So yeah, my main win condition in this matchup is obviously passive scales, which is very good against them. They cannot answer passive scale except with the hand attack spell, and off the demon. They also cannot answer off the demon except with the hand attack spell. Their main win condition is Casimir's. It's really going to be kind of a clown show where we each try to find our few relevant cards. They leave 2 mana up, so this could easily be Cursory Glance or Path of Curiosity. Since it could be Cursory Glance, I'm definitely not casting a spell turn. Oh, they let me draw Overrule Thought. I am going to. I need what? I never need double red, but I could need double white for the battle. So this is Primal Fissure, Ship of the Turn. I have Overrule Thought. I don't know what I would counter Overrule Thought. There's not much I would counter. Oh, they just don't spend their mana on turn 2. That's good for me. Cursory Glance is really the card I expect there, because if they had Path of Curiosity, they certainly would have played it. Not that surprising. If they could play a land here, and then they would have up the cancel, but if they cancel my Seafloor Treasures, I do not remotely care. I'd much rather, like, if they play a land and... I mean, they have Atomic Core, maybe I would counter. No, I'd actually rather have on the battlefield than... maybe Atomic Core, the card I care about. They do not neither of those things. They play an Archive Telemetry. I do have plains in here, right? Yes, I have 2 plains. I have 2 plains, 1 mountain in the deck. 2 plains, 1 mountain, 3 island is my basic layout, which is the fewest I could get away with. Cast Seafloor Treasures, please. I could have cracked Chart if I really did not want to get countered here, but whatever. They counter this, I don't mind. Okay. Sure. Look at my top 2. Well, that's a pretty easy decision. Passive skills is very good because none of their counter spells hit it, and none of their removal spells hit it. So if I resolve this, passive skills or off are both enormous problems for them. Another Silent Lakefront. Yeah, I'm just gonna shock in this Misty Peak and ship the turn. I have no reason to do anything here. They didn't do anything with 2 mana last turn, so there's no reason to give them an opportunity to do 2 mana this turn. Have they drawn? No, wow. They have not cast a spell this game, which is not, even in a controlled matchup, is not really how you'd like to start. If they don't give me anything better to do, I'm going to discern and crack this chart, but they could give me something better. I guess, what would it be? They could try to play a 4/4 dragon. I'd counter a 4/4 dragon. Nope, this is Primal Fissure. Okay, well, I'm going to start out with a Discern. They say, yep. Draw my Wind-Beaten Stones. Okay, now I'm going to crack this chart. 3 mana. There's no threat they can play. 3 mana instant speed. Mounted in hand. I got 8 cards in hand. I think I'm going to run out this Plains and just offset Demon. I could Passive Scales. Passive Scales is very good, but I discard like 3 cards to hand size if I did it, so there's no particular need to do that. I'm just going to play this Offset Demon, and they cannot interact with it at all. They could blow it up with... No, that... Oh, Atomic Core could blow up the token. Every other card in their deck doesn't do anything. If they have Casimir's, that's annoying, but they're not going to flip Casimir's, and then I can just attack Casimir's down eventually with the Offset Demon. Yeah, Casimir's would be annoying, but I think Offset Demon does a pretty good job of pressuring Casimir's down. They're never going to flip. They're not flipping Casimir's anytime soon. So yeah, I think it's just like, get out this threat, and then I can sit behind it. Cursory Glance does not kill this. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's the Cancel. I forgot about the Cancel. Oh, okay, no, I forgot about that. They only have 2 copies of that, but I think it was still correct to run out something. But yeah, they could resolve Casimir's right now, and it would be quite bad for me if they did that. Yeah, I knew they had Cursory Glance, but I didn't know about this one. Yeah, they're cracking on upkeep, so they probably already have another land in hand. They do have a lot of creature lands, by the way, as well. Those are also kind of annoying for me. Especially Archive Telemetry, which is large. As long as Casimir doesn't flip, I can kind of outrace it with Passive Scales. Okay. Oh, is this Eyes Gone Blind? It is Eyes Gone Dark. That's annoying. Okay, now I'm actually in a lot of trouble. Because they're going to take this Passive Scales. And they're going to know about this Overrule Sot. Yeah, I've been pretty low on Eyes Gone Dark, but I mean certainly this is the matchup for it. Although obviously Duress would be better. But, sitting here, I guess what I can do is leave up Silent Lakefront for a while, because I do have Silent Lakefront mana next turn. They play Zymoth Observatory. Yeah, I foresee getting beaten down by an Archive Telemetry in my future. Definite Clarion does nothing. Well, I'm going to play this Mountain. I'm going to pass. I'm going to leave up this Silent Lakefront they know about, and if they don't do that, I'm going to flash back to the Seafloor Treasures. I still think, like, they only have 3 cards in hand, so they're going to crack a chart, which is pretty nice for them. Yep. But yeah, the fact that I'm down 2 Passive Scales, 1 Offset Demon already, those are my big win conditions, is a little sad. Gonna have to find some more of those, or the other battle. I still think they have Cursory Glance in hand, which they might even Cursory Glance my my Seafloor, but I can't like do it now while they're tapped out because I need to leave up Silent Lakefront to stop Casimir's. Silent Lakefront is nice in control matchups because it is effectively uncounterable. You always win the counter war with Silent Lakefront. But yeah, The real big brain play here is level up archive telemetry, hit me for 1. That's a clock, that's what that is. Cards in hand. I know about an enigmatic fin, a cursory glance, and 3 unknowns, pretty much. They could also cast this in like 3 land drops. Not that it does much, but they could. I guess I could have cast Seafloor Treasure, and I would have still had Overrule Sought for Casimir's. That might have been true. Okay, let's try it here, see what happens. They could cursory glance this. They do not. Look at my top 2. Well, I definitely don't want wind-beaten stones at this point. Passive Scales is very nice. Okay. I'm going to shock in this Misty Peak. I'm going to cast this Passive Scales, leaving up Overrule Sought. They could Casimir's through Overrule Sought next turn, which is annoying. But it can't flip or anything, so drew a offset demon. That's a good way of pressuring down Casimir's if it comes to that. And I'm going to have to discard 2 to hand size here. Well, Deafening Clarion's a free discard, and I guess the last one is a land, probably Wind-Beaten Stones. I can't cast any spells right now. Clash at Mr. Vale is like, it can't get... I need to weave this through Cursory Glance, or I need to defeat Passive Scales first, and then I can play it, copy it, and then they can't counter it. Go to end step, discard Deafening Clarion and Stones. Could have been Silent Lakefront. Definitely could have. Okay, it's entirely possible they don't have another land in hand, by the way, so I can still counter their Casimirs. And that's if they have it, which they've had opportunities to play it for a while, and they have not done so. They're going to Zymuth Observatory here. Yep, that's pretty good. So hopefully they don't have an answer to Offset Demon, and it'll take a while, but if I can Offset Demon, clear Passive Scales, I mean, just getting the Offset Demon in play is pretty good, because I have another one in my graveyard, so I'm going to get 2 of them eventually. They've been a Twilight Ambush. Oh yeah, they could also have, like, Twilight Ambushes and the Edict in hand. It's highly likely that they've drawn a New Light Exodus or other Twilight Ambushes, even Nightfall already. At which point, like, Nightfall can also block off that demon. That is annoying. I don't like that at all. It stops me from clearing my Passive Scales. Okay. If they go untapped land Casimirs, that would be pretty annoying. They have 3 types in graveyard. Granted, it's the 3 easy types. They need creature. Creature is the other easy type, and then they need an artifact or a planeswalker, which is pretty tough. Okay, untapped land. Do they have Casimirs? They sure do. Yeah, they're navigating this extremely well. I could certainly draw ways to beat this next turn. Possibly if I should have Overrule Sought. Hmm? Oh yeah, I probably should have Overrule Sought that, just to force them to tap out so they can't Cursory Glance things. Yeah, that was definitely what I should have done. Why did I not do that? That was really sloppy of me. If I lose, it's probably because I did. That's what happened. Okay, they're gonna look at top 3. They could flip right here. If they hit Artifact Creature in the top 3, or Planeswalker and Creature. Oh, I forgot this makes you discard a card on your end step. Oh yeah, so they could flip here. If they flip, it's actually not the game's actually not over. I actually don't know what the backside of Casimir's does because it's the wordiest card in all of Revolution. Okay, if they put If they put two new types into their graveyard here, creature and sorcery. Okay, so they need to discard a artifact or planeswalker at the end of step. I definitely should have overruled thought here. Very sloppy play. Why did I do that? Okay, just was it okay? Yep, end step trigger. Okay, they discard Twilight Ambush. They only have 4 types. And they discard and draw. Okay. So, ooh, offset demon. Enough. Last offset demon. I'm gonna offset demon attack Casimir's. Um, they can just they can't destroy it because it's going to go to 1 loyalty. They're going to get another Casimir's +1. But then it'll be at 2 loyalty, and even if it flips, I can kill it with offset demon, and they can't counter this. And meanwhile, I could run out a clash, and they would cursory glance it. I might do that anyways. One's adding. Oh, one's adding. Yeah, I should. Yeah, I need to do this in the right order. Offset demon. They can't counter it, but they could try to point a removal spell at it, or the edict rather, and then I would have to overrule Sought that edict, so I could deal the damage to Casimir's. Resolves. And there's actually very little they can do to prevent me from getting back an offset demon next turn. I'd love to be beating down this passive scales, but obviously I cannot afford to do that. Attack your Casimir's. Okay, they just let it go. Okay, run Clash at Mistrit Vale into their cursory glance, or leave up Overrule Thought. And if I leave up Overrule Thought, do I play Island or do I play Lakefront? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I want Offset Demon leave up double Overrule Thought next turn. So that means Lakefront. Get Island. Okay, this Silent Lakefront in hand has nothing left to get. I have no basics in deck. So Primal Fissure is also a dead draw. Okay, this is tighter than I thought it would be. They could flip Casimir's here, but it doesn't actually do anything. He would have protection from mana value 2 or less, but then it would just die to Offset Demon. Given that I can have 3 Offset Demons. Do I counter this? This is a card draw spell? The thing is, they have so much, like, they do have... It's very unlikely I'm going to get something of Overrule Thought. Like, very unlikely I'm going to get something of Overrule Thought, but, like, having it, the threat of it taxes 2 of their mana on their next turn. Like, them flipping Casimir is actually not that much of a threat, given what I have. I think I do overrule it. I don't think I'm in that much danger of not being able to kill Casimir's next turn, considering I have 3 offset demons. This one, and this one, and they would need individual answers for all 3. I don't think they can do that through even 1 overrule thought. Counter that. Mill. Okay. Some cards I didn't super want to draw. I can't mill offset demon. I already have all 3 of them. And they clearly don't have an artifact or planeswalker in hand, or they would have discarded it to Casimir's last turn. Wouldn't mind drawing a countermeasures. Countermeasure could really break this game open if I could get it through. But yeah, these offset demons are a serious, annoying problem for them. They're going to uptick Kaz. Yeah, they drove. Kazimierz has been like past the kills in my card or Kaz is their card. Their Kaz has gotten them 2 cards, 2+1s, plus a lot of filtering. My path got me 3 cards, but I had to discard 2 of them, so kind of a lot of filtering. I still think they have a cursory glance in their hand, and I'd still like to get Clash in through that. I actually, if they flip Casimir, it's actually kind of a downside because it'll die anyways, but they won't get to draw a card off the trigger. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can figure out what the backside does. No one knows what the backside of this card does. Whoops. No. Whoops. I was trying to look at it. Uh, Yada yada. +1 draws cards. -1 destroy exiles things. Oh. Oh, it's not even that impactful. Okay. What? I accidentally. This should. Okay. Whoops. Somehow I cloned an island. I'm gonna close my graveyard because there's actually nothing relevant in it right now. Anyways, they plussed Kaz. They milled a Chart the Cosmos and a Edict. I mean, so I think I will be able to solve my Casimir's problem pretty soon. Um, Actually, the big question I have to answer: do I even cast this off the demon, or do I just leave up Silent Lakefront? They play an Enigmatic Fen. Theoretically, if I don't, okay, if they kill one, if they kill this offset demon on their turn, yeah. Oh, this could make a 4/4 just blocker. Yeah. Okay, that's one answer to offset demons. Kaz trigger. Yep. Do they flip Kaz? I would be happy for them to do that. Nope, they discard Twilight Ambush, they draw a card. Okay, well, they've gone through 3 of their useless Twilight Ambush. And I still have some useless cards in my deck. Not Lucent Basin. Draw, main, get back, offset demon. There's nothing they can do about that. Okay. So I'm probably just going to attack both at Casimir's. They can block and kill one. It's okay, it'll come back eventually. And the other one will kill Casimir's. They could try to kill the unblocked one. No, they can't. Their only removal spell that works here is a Edict, which I would just sack the blocked one. They can do it before, but then I could counter it with Overrule Sought and then resolve something else post combat. So, in summary, I am going to shock in this Lucent Basin. I could play another Offset Demon just to attack this passive scales, but I'd like leaving up Silent Lakefront now that I'm in control. So they're just going to both attack Casimir's. I'm going to clear up my problems. Okay, they lock one. One of them dies. Um, and I'm just passing here, leaving up Silent Lakefront. I could play offset. I could play another offset demon. In which case, probably should jump pre-combat, but such is life. If they play another offset demon, they could play another Casimir's, and I would not have the counter for it. I think I'm winning the flyer war, so there's absolutely no reason for me to cast spells here. Yeah, I want to next turn I can play Clash, leave up Silent Lakefront, and that'll be nice. So, no rush here. They got 3 cards in hand. I'm through 1 Casimir's. They could start. They could play this Draconis Magistus pretty soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They could play this, but I would not enormously care. That would let me resolve Clash at Mistrit Vale. And I can actually race. Like, if they're hitting me for 10 in the air, I can actually just hit them back for 9 lifelink in the air, which wins the race. So, it's not even that good. Although, obviously, this is uncounterable, so gets through Silent Lakefront. Oh, they surveil to the top. Certainly not over yet. But it could quickly become over if I draw a electronic countermeasures. Yeah, if they tap out for, they could tap out for Draconis Magistus, and I couldn't counter it, and I couldn't really remove it that effectively either with the cards in my main deck. But it's very risky for them. Like, if they do, from their perspective, they do that, I countermeasures my passive scales. I have a fully defeated passive scales they can never remove, and then I have like copy Overthought, copy Clash, and Mr. Veil. They're going to attack. This to me signals they're casting this dragon. No other reason you'd do that. I would. It would waste a lot of my mana, that's for sure. Neither of us have missed a land drop this game, by the way. They have 8, I have 7. They were on the play. Nightfall? How do I feel about Nightfall? Do I counter that? It's a little annoying against my offset demons. But I don't know if I enormously care. I could obviously lakefront that. Casimir's is actually becoming less of a threat if I have the flyer advantage. So I think I want to start a fight here. And I think they're just going to let this go. It's not that important to them. It's good play, kind of baiting me out with a not very important spell. I was not starting a fight, obviously, because they can't counter Silent Lakefront. Perhaps we've gone this long without Archive Telemetry level up. Gilded Core. Okay, they only got 2 cards in hand. Oh. I sack a creature or planeswalker, I think? I don't really care about that. Sure. Whatever, I'm at 22. This dragon is not killing me anytime soon. And this lets me resolve a Clash at Mistrid Vale. Whoa. Seafloor Treasures, that's very nice. Okay. Future Chasm will automatically flip, and there's nothing, and they can't even prevent that if they wanted to. Okay. So yeah, the world's kind of my oyster. So I can resolve an offset demon. And there's nothing they can do about it with the 1 card in their hand that I think is Cursory Glance. I can resolve a Clash at Mr. Vale, although I'd require them to play this Overthought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these together cost 9. So I can play 2 of them? or rather, sorry, Clash costs 5 effectively, and Offset Demon costs 4. I think resolving Clash is more important. It accumulates tokens for blocking this guy. Um, I guess it doesn't do an enormous amount. It's just like cumulative value. One, two, three, four. I can Clash and then Overrule Assault and then Seafloor Treasures. I think that's a good option. Like, what does playing Offset Demon right now get me? It gets me 3 damage on passive scales. That is 3 damage on passive scales is pretty relevant. But I do like the drawing cards thing that Clash like of the line that plays Seafloor Treasures here. Okay. So I have 2 lines. Offset Demon, which they can't counter, leave up Seafloor Treasures, or Clash plus Overrule Sought, leave up Seafloor Treasures. The advantage of playing Clash and Overrule Sought is it lets me make use of these 2 cards, which are probably not going to be very good this game. The advantage of playing Offset Demon is that it gets me closer to passive scales, which obviously is very good. And defeating passive scales makes Clash and Overrule Sought better. Okay, soon I'm gonna have to go check on something. Um, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 8 mana, right? I can play this island, so I can play Offset Demon and I guess Overrule doesn't do much then. But Offset Demon, even if they play the flying blocker, I'm gonna have 3 of them, so I can defeat passive scales next turn. There's not much they can do about it. And then once it's defeated, I can play Clash and then copy it, and then they can't counter back anyways. And Overrule Sought's better. Yeah, I think it is actually still just Offset Demon, is what I'm coming to the conclusion of. Island. Offset. And there's going to be another one next turn. Okay. Ships the turn, leaving up Seafloor Treasures and Overrule Sought. Not that Overrule Sought is very likely to ever hit anything. But once I defeat Fathom Scale, it's counter unless they pay 4. So that's much more relevant. Uh, okay, sorry about that. I'm back now. They kept a card on top. Okay, I should keep up the great. If I wish these graveyards could be made a little smaller, because they're kind of okay. I don't care about the lamps. You know what? So, but I should be counting cards somewhat. There we go. I can just about put these on the screen. What did they draw? Could be another Casimir's? Once again, Casimir doesn't do much. It flips and then immediately dies to offset demons. They could... Wait. What? Okay. they could Casimir's Minus, kill off that demon. That still doesn't help. I immediately get back an offset demon. Oh no, but then they have a blocker. So yeah, they could Casimir's Minus, destroy this offset demon. And then I would need to find something. But that thing could be a lot of different things. And I have Seafloor Treasures, Flashback, Seafloor Treasures, so I get to look at a lot of cards. Oh, they're surveilling again. Interesting. They kept on top, and then they didn't play the card. Instead, they surveil again. What is the card they kept? I still think they have Cursory Glance in hand. They're under pressure. Chart the Cosmos. Okay, they get their chart. Even with like my opponent having 9 lands in play and me having 8, every land does still matter. This is a control matchup. They find another chart. Like here, the fact that they have 4 mana left instead of 5 is relevant. It restricts what they can play through my overrule slot. That's the last chart the Cosmos gone. They could find Eyes Gone Dark pretty soon. They have only found one of those. They have 3 in main, I think. Yes. So I should be expecting one of those at some point. Good reason to cast the Offset Demon. Not let them do that. This could be it right now. No, cracking chart on their turn. Trying to hit the land drop right now. Island, which presumably they're going to play right now. Caersol Island looks like. Good choice, good choice. But now they can't resolve anything through Overrule Thought, so I have full control of the game. Even with, 3 mana, they can't resolve all of their relevant cards cost 2 mana, so I can play this Seafloor Treasures. View my top 2 cards. Countermeasures is better than Ukus, surely. His counting cards. Nothing else to do with my life. Through another countermeasures. Now these countermeasures, once I defeat passive skills, they can blow up even their enormous spirits. Now I have 2 offset demons. And I'm just going to start by attacking down this passive scales. They're going to block 1, but now I have a defeated passive scales, and they cannot remove this. They have no way to do so in their deck. 1 offset dies. But now they are in enormous amounts of trouble. Which I will start out by playing this Clash at Mistrit Vale. Yeah, all of their threats die to electronic countermeasures. So I'm actually... And with passive scales, my stuff is very hard to counter. Like, very hard to literally counter with counter spells. They can copy... If they try to counter 1 copy of this, I think I probably just let it happen. I don't need 2 copies. I'd rather leave an overall slot for leave up countermeasure. I could just pay. No, I'll probably pay 2 for overall slot, and then I can countermeasure. They need 2 counter spells. I guess I know they have 1. If they cursory glance here, then they won't have an extra counter on their turn. So yeah, if they cursory glance, I'm probably going to counter back. Yep, both of them. Okay, boys, this is getting out of hand. Okay, I'm gonna have to track things manually. Okay, there's actually an interesting option here. I can countermeasure both of them, and then I'll get back 2 things, and all my spells would cost 4 less. I don't mind that. And then I get to leave up 1 mana countermeasures that still lets me kill whatever they play. I also have overrule slot for 4. Yeah, let's start getting them dead. This game is over. Have fun. They can try to counter this. They can try to counter 1 copy. I'd let them counter 1 copy. I don't need both copies. Hmm. Hmm. Also, they keep leaving up 3 mana and not leaving up Gilded Court. If they left up Gilded Court, they could turn it into an island, which would be completely irrelevant, but they could do it. And then eventually I will find the white battle, and then I will blow up the board, and then I will start generating 1/1s every turn. What am I getting back with these clashes? If they let me get back 2 things, it's probably just the countermeasures again, and no, they cannot stop me from getting this back to my hand. And the other one probably gets, I don't know. Oh, I have a Discern in my graveyard. Wow, I could have flashed back to Discern a while ago. I completely forgot this thing has a flashback in my graveyard. Whoops. So I guess I can do that this turn. Well, they both resolve. So it counters to 0. I'm going to get back the countermeasures, and I guess this chart the Cosmos. No, I'm going to get back this Overrule Thought. I guess I have to target a player with Overrule Thought. That's slightly annoying. And I guess, while I'm here, I'm going to flash back this Seafloor Treasures. Because it costs 4 less. Because I haven't hit a land. Both resolve. Okay. Okay. I don't know how much of this they're going to take before they concede, but I imagine not an enormous amount. Primal Fissure has no targets. Wow, neither of these cards do anything. I'll take Deafening Clarion, I guess. You can give myself lifelink if I care, but Primal Fissure literally can't find anything. Ooh, Clash of Doors Cross. That's what I want. Okay, I have a Discern. Remember that. I also have Overrule Slot for 4, which won't counter much right now, and I also have countermeasures. They're going to crack a chart token. I have fewer lands than them, but my spell skull costs 4 less, so I just like having lands. If they play one of these giant dragons, which they might be desperate enough to do right now, I will then Clash at Aura's Cross, blow up the board, and then I will start getting back off the demons again and generating tokens of Clash, and it's going to get out of hand. It's going to get in hand very quickly. Yeah, I think I played that last round a little loose, but I also think once I defeated passive scales, it almost did not matter what I did. They are quite dead. Yeah. And their sideboard has no answers to passive scales either. I mean, they have 1 extra Eyespawn Dark, and they have some threats of their own. And they have Kuraz Layspire, which could technically do something, but they don't even have any graveyard hate. Actually, no, wait, they have Crucible. They might even bring in Crucible, which I wouldn't love, but I can win through Crucible, no problem. Ready, get, set, go. They got 4 cards in hand. They're making some choices. Oh, I guess Deafening Clarion is actually not a dead card because I have passive scales. Deafening Clarion, I could Deafening Clarion for 6, which does actually kill this guy, which is very funny. They are thinking a lot for a player whose win chances can't be greater than single-digit percentages. Like, I guess they could play a Casimir's, and I would then countermeasures the Casimir's twice, and they would have to have 2 counter spells to save it. And if they did that, I would then, on my turn, countermeasure attack with 2 offset demons, putting it down to 1, and then countermeasure it twice again. So, I mean, there's just no way. Or I could just, yeah. It would have protection for my soldiers, but offset demon is mana value 4. But they are thinking hard. To be fair, they could make a 4/9 Archived Telemetry, which I would also kill with a single countermeasures. Okay, they're casting a spell or activating Zymus Observatory. Okay. Oh, milling both. They're on the mill plan. Good luck. I would have loved to draw that Silent Link Friend, I guess. They're probably getting back another Otter. Yeah, okay, they put it on Adventure like they should. What did they put in their hand? Another one. Okay, they have another Otter. They are not milling me out. That is not happening. I can overrule Thought and mill them if I really need to. They have no graveyard synergy apart from Casimir's, which is already on. So I'm perfectly fine milling them with my overrule thoughts. That's already what? Each of these is 6. That's 12 right there. I could win the game like that if I really needed to. What are they playing? Oh, they're playing this thing. This is. Oh, I see. Is this a tax? It would kill me. Yeah, that's true. So obviously I could overrule thought this and just mill them for 6. Or I could let it resolve Clash at Aurus Cross. I mean, I'm flush with options. I have a million ways to win this game. The fastest way to win probably is to get this Clash in play. Sure. They can't give it haste or anything. Primal Fissure. I think they do actually have lands left to get. Not that it matters. Okay. Well, I guess I flashback this to CERN? No, no, there's no need. I do actually care a little about being milled out. Ooh, okay. Caersol is actually not nothing here. Get back another offset demon. Evil bird, very persistent. This is true. I will attack. I'm about to blow up the world. So I'm going to attack them for 3 and gain my 6. Sure. Dies. It'll be back soon. Okay, let's go to my main phase. Clash. Copy it. I get 2 of them. Everything dies. Cool. They each have 4. I'm just going to save myself some time and... exile. Wow, Clash of Misty Peak. Sure. Play the Misty Peak, pay my 2. Exile forever. I don't need more of them. This is even if you cast from your hand. Doesn't even do anything. Actually, wait. Actually, wait. These are from 2 different countermeasures. I can play both. No, I don't have quad white. I can't actually. So I can't actually play that. Okay. These are all defeated. Sure. Pass. Token. Token. They all have +1/+1 in vigilance, +2/+2 in vigilance, actually. So now I'm going to make 2 3/3s of vigilance a turn, and that they can't beat. Okay. They got 3 more Casimirs in there somewhere, so I'm expecting to see some of those someday. And stop. Yeah. If they ever somehow manage to attack with the order, I do die on the spot, but that's 3 of them. They only have 3, I think. No, they have 4. So the 4th one I could kill it in approximately 5 bajillion ways, so it's not a problem. Okay. When your opponent, you're allowed to concede at any time. Come on. I'm not going to tell them that because that's BM. But I guess they know there's no lands in my hand. I missed my land drop last turn. No, I didn't. I played the Misty Peak from Exile, so I could theoretically have lands in my hand. I think they might still have that cursory glance that they started the game with. I've just never given them a chance to use it productively. Okay, they're casting a spell. Both of us. I can win the game before I draw 12 cards. That's easy enough. And that's the last one. That's the last way they can mill me. Cool. Well, there's one of the cursory glances. Oh yeah, they might have multiple cursory glances in hand actually, because they have 4 in deck, right? And I have seen 0 of them. Is that right? Yeah, I've seen 0 of them. There's the first one. So there's 3 lurking in those 25 cards. And they did put a cursory glance in their hand. They're going to cast this, and this time I'm going to overrule Sod it twice. Twice. Okay, now they're actually dead. Okay, there's probably a faster way of doing that. But once again, once I defeated Path of Scales, nothing they could do. Okay, let's get these useless Deafening Clarions out of here. Let's get this useless Yukus Casaurus. Boy, I'm glad I never drew too many of those. Got these Ulfin Skylords in. Savvy Smiths come in. Fateful Ascent comes in. Ready to go. Okay, their sideboard, they have 4 Twilight Ambush that definitely come out, 2 Newly Exodus that probably come out. Eyes Gone Dark comes in, probably Torpor Carpenter comes in, probably Kara's Lathespire comes in. Maybe they trim a Nightfall. That's what I'm expecting. Meanwhile, on my end, just cut the things that have no targets, put in Savvy Smith. If they trim all of their Twilight Ambush, they could end up with no good answers to Savvy Smith. That's fun. Ulfin Skylord, yeah, not actually unkillable because they have an Edict, but decent. Fateful Ascent kills their giant adventure creatures, but more importantly, it kills Casimir's. They could bring Crucible, by the way. That would be moderately annoying. Kara's Lathespire and Crucible would be moderately annoying, but not unbeatable. What I'm hoping is I get to show off the Savvy Smith beatdown mode of this deck. Just Savvy Smith plus Stargazing them out. So how long did that take? That took like nearly an hour for game 1? Okay. Now, usually in control mirrors, they're on the play. Sideboard games are shorter because we both have less useless cards and more threats. Ooh, this is an interesting hand. On the draw, 2 lands, an answer, some cards I really want to see. I really want a land heavy hand in a control matchup, and this hand has no card draw either. I think I do keep this, but I'd like to be clear that I would prefer a 5 land hand to this most of the time. But on the draw, you keep a 2-lander. If I find 2 lands, I can pass the scales. If I find card draw that like gets me churning. Kara's Observatory, sure. Silent Lakefront is excellent here. I don't foresee myself needing to spend 3 mana on turn 3. And I might want to save this to use for counterspell mode. Maybe that's dumb. Maybe I should go get a Plains. I should go get a Plains. What if I draw blue battle turn 3 and I have an opportunity to sneak it in? See, I'd play it then. I'm so short on lands, it's very unlikely I'm going to draw so many lands that I'm going to be able to save this all the way to 5 mana and then use it as a counterspell. Next turn, Shock and Misty Peak. Leave up Overall Thought plus Faithful Ascent, plus hopefully like a Seafloor Treasures that I draw. They have a Sorcery Speed 2 mana play. What is that? Oh, probably the Chart Maker, right? Or they could be casting an instant on their turn. Eyes Gone Dark. Oh, it's probably Eyes Gone Dark, actually. That's annoying. Yep, that's Eyes Gone Dark. Yeah, not being black and not having access to hand attack is a real problem. I like having it in hand. They're going to take Path or off that demon, presumably. Okay. Cards on the left side of my hand, my opponent knows about. Let me actually order them before I become unable to. Yep, they take the offset demon. That card really put them through the ringer last time. But Path of Scales can do the same thing, basically. Just fine. Okay, well, I did draw. Okay, keeping that on the right side of hand. Clash they do not know about. If they leave up 2 mana, I probably don't clash. Probably? Maybe. Actually not sure. Depends on what I draw, I think. They've only kept in all 4 cursory glance. It has enough targets. They are very likely to 2 mana, leave up 2 mana because they have the chart disguising. Primal Fissure. Pass, presumably? Pass or play Chart the Cosmos? Yep. Okay, I drew a land. Okay. Pass the turn or play Clash at Mistrit Vale. I play Clash of Mil, my shields are down, but they only have 4 mana, and the things which they could play a Torpor Harvester, that would be annoying. They can't play Casimir, so they could have Torpor Harvester. I do want to, actually, no, I need to get cards out of my hand so I don't discard the hand size when I play this Passive Scales. So, if they counter it with Cursory Glance, that'll be sad, but, some percent of the time they don't have it. See? They don't have it. Now I just have this on the battlefield permanently. Because they have absolutely no way of removing this from the battlefield. Well, if they play a whatchamacallit, a Torpor Harvester this turn, they'll draw a card off it, and then I'll kill it with Fateful Ascent. And it'll be medium annoying. It looks like they're just cracking the chart. Nope, Lutra. Are you sure you want to mill me? Wow, they mill some uncommon types. Okay, so is Casimir's on? Well, it depends on what they pick, I guess. I wanted to draw a Savvy Smith and Passive Scale, so that was not great. But, are they sure they want to mill me? I have Seafloor Treasures in my deck. No, they have 3 types. They put the Casimirs in hand. So I now know about Casimirs, and they know about Overall Thought. So they're going to need to get to 7 mana to resolve the Casimirs. Which is a thing they're definitely on the road to doing. And I'm probably not able to cast this Passive Scales because I'm worried about Casimirs. Yeah, because if Casimirs flips, Fateful Ascent can't kill it anymore. What I really want to draw is, Discern. Yep, they do a Torpor Harvester. Just going to draw them a card. Yep, they're going to 2 on me off that with Fateful Ascent, but I think it's worth it to get the Clash in play. They're going to have the card advantage here for sure. Yeah, it's 3 for 1. Drawing lands, don't mind that. This is just Fateful Ascent. The good news about Fateful Ascent is it puts a 1/1 on the battlefield, which will eventually defeat Passive Clash at Mithrit Vale. I guess I'm close to casting this Ulfin Skylord, although once again, I need to leave up mana for Casimirs. Drawing lands is not the end of the world. If I draw enough lands, I can play one of my threats and leave up Overall Thought for their Casimirs. They get a chart, which is annoying. I don't like them having this many charts. But I will attack this Clash of Israel with my 1/1 White Soldier, and I will defeat it that way. I only need to do 2 damage to it to get back that Fateful Ascent, which is nice. Marathon match. There's no way to run Casimirs into the face-up Overrule Thought. So yeah, we're kind of at an impasse where we both have powerful threats. I guess, okay, if I get to 6 mana and I can play Skylord, leave up the card draw ability, then they can't play Casimirs because Ulfin Skylord can kill it. Ooh, Savvy Smith. That's a huge draw. Well, let's start out by attacking this Clash of Mithrit Vale. They are thinking. This soldier. Do they have to do something about it? Very funny that 1/1 soldier token is like a real threat to them. Because next turn Savvy Smith's going to help. Play Savvy Smith. They still can't resolve Casimir, so they have 6 mana maximum, and I can still Overrule Thought. Get my Savvy Smith. Play my tapped Windbeaten Stones. I pass the turn. If I draw a land, I can actually like play Ulf and Skylord, leave up the card draw ability. If they play Casimir's, they can't kill Skylord, and then it attacks them back. It has mana value 5, so even if it flips, they can't do anything. They're milling both. They really should be careful about that. Okay, they safe this time. Okay, grabbing. Okay, they kept in Nightfall, which they might grab here. Milling my. I guess they're planning for Lutra Inquisitos to possibly be a win condition. That's why they're doing it this way. Because when it attacks, it does cause me to lose the game immediately. Yep, they pick up Nightfall. And they're going to hit a land because they're going to crack a chart this turn. So they have Nightfall, pay for Overrule Thought if they need it. Which, that's fine. Oh, wow. Again. My Eltonon. Okay. Oh, no lands. If they needed a land here, this is actually a problem for them. They grabbed the cancel. So known cards in hand, cancel, Nightfall. But they have to make the first move because I have a Savvy Smith in play. Also, wow, they milled me while I have a Clash at Mr. Vale in play. They've given me access to getting back a countermeasures with the Clash trigger. Boy, if they miss their land drop and they go Nightfall, no land, do I Overrule Thought? I'm certainly tempted. These cost 7. If they're 2 mana short. Yeah, if they Nightfall, I am going to counter it because it doesn't just let me defeat Clash of Mr. Vale. It doesn't let me just get the thing back. It lets me fully defeat Clash, and then I can get back countermeasures as an answer to Casimir's. So I don't know. I don't know they have an untapped land in hand. It's very possible they do if they have 6 cards, but okay, they do. So they're going to get to Nightfall here. Yep, Nightfall mode. Yep, no point countering that. This Overrule Thought is actually valuable. Okay, what I'm hoping for is untapped land for Ulf and Skylord. I guess it needs to be untapped blue land. Yeah, this Casimir's is actually going to be a problem next turn. They can bleed Casimir's and pay for Overrule Thought next turn, so I need to find an answer to that. Oh, untapped blue land counts. Fateful Scent obviously counts. Lucent Basin counts. Untapped blue land is best. That's what I'm hoping for. Oh, they're casting something. Oh, they're cracking a chart. Oh, Caersol Observatory. I forgot about this card. Whoops. Yeah, that does work. Okay. Slightly annoying. Show me Misty Peak. Whoops. That was just a fat finger. I have no scry in my deck, so I have no knowledge of my deck, so. Okay, Fateful Scent is something. Okay, I'm gonna play Passive Scales and hope to draw an untapped land. If I do, I get to play a land and have a Fateful Scent, and then they can play if they have Casimir's plus also whatchamacallit, then it's a problem. But I think I need to actually play something this game. I'm enough behind. Play Passive Scales. Okay. Well, the problem Casimir doesn't flip, And I get a 1/1. Oh, come on. Really? No untapped land? Okay, they need 2 Casimirs. Oh no, they need any creature? Ugh. No untapped land is so rough. It's probably gonna lose me this game. Discern on their end step in case they play a sweeper or something. Thought they're not gonna counter it. Okay. They didn't crack charts. They are still not guaranteed to have the untapped land, but even if they don't, they can still play Casimir because I just didn't get to leave up overall thought. Okay, if Casimir flips, I get to play Ulf and Skylord, which the Casimirs cannot interact with, and even the backside, I think, will die to an Ulf and Skylord. So it'll be messy, but I do have these battles. I get to keep these battles forever. That's always something. So yeah, not over by any means, but annoying. They're gonna flip a Casimir this turn? Probably. It's a good anti-control card, that's for sure. I'm gonna discern. There's the untapped land. Okay, I have a discern in my graveyard. Don't forget that. Okay. As they flip Casimirs, it's gonna be Ulfin, Skylord, and Hope. They just have to bin a creature between this and the discard. And stop. The Discern could actually have protected my Ulfin Skylord after I'd exhausted its counters. Not enormously important. Oh, and they did bin a Casimir. Okay, that's 5. Okay, they get to defeat Casimir. They get to flip Casimirs, but I get to hit my Clash at Mistrit Vale down to 2. Crucible. Okay, that's going to take a while to do anything. It means I can't put more things in my graveyard, but that's okay. I have enough of them. And stop. Okay. Well, they're tapped out, so I get to resolve this Ulfin Skylord with impunity. And I just have to hope there's discard, exile, discard, exile. Sure, I will exile the Silent Lakefront. They have flipped Casimirs, who has, some good abilities there. Basically, +1 draw 2 cards is the relevant ability. So they're going to get to do at least once. I'm not out of this, even though it's not good. Another Overrule Thought. What do I get back with this Clash at Mr. Vale, is the question. It might just be Discern. That's future protection for my Ulfin. Wait, one, okay. I can play an Ulfin, leave up, get it back. I could all start working towards the path scale, but I think Clash is more important. It gets me my mana, which is something I'm short of. I guess first 2 to Clash is nice. 5 to path is a long way away. I think it might be Discern. Is that or Fateful Ascent? Maybe Fateful Ascent is just more relevant. No, it's Discern. It's definitely an Overrule Thought. Is it Fateful Ascent? No, it's Fateful Ascent. I need to kill stupid otters eventually. I'll be able to flash back which means I can play Primal Fisher here. It has things to get, right? Island, 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 plains. Yeah, there's another plains in there. Um, and no, I want to leave up 2 mana. Yeah, there's no reason not to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skylord. I know they have a cancel in hand. And they can't protect Casimir's from this. Okay, they can minus Casimir's on Ulfin Skylord. And then if I protect it by card drawing, but they'd have to have an instant that kills this in response, and they don't have any such thing. All of their answers to this uh, are sorceries or sorcery speed. So yeah, they're going to get to draw 2 cards off He Who Shed His Death, which is annoying. But then I'm going to get to kill it. I don't think it's very specific, the things that let them kill Ulfin Skylord here. It's like Nightfall make a blocker into counter my Fateful Ascent, into counter my second Fateful Ascent. Uptick? Yep, they're going to get to draw 2 cards. That's really good. I don't like that that's happening at all. But in protection from mana value. Oh, yeah, less than. So 5 loyalty protection from mana value 4 or less. This is mana value 5. So not protection from Ulf and Skylord, which can swing in for exactly 5 next turn after I remove 1 counter. And if they just play like a Nightfall, I'm probably going to overrule Thought it just for the just to tap them out. Prevent shenanigans from occurring. Been swamped, get 2 cards. Yep, exiled is correct. Tight game. But once I have this Skylord going, chart the Cosmos. That's a K from me. Yeah, if they don't have like the threat of Casimir's going, then my battles are eventually going to take over the game in a way they can't defeat. Ooh, Eyes Gone Dark. Luckily, I have 2 pair in hand. Um, yeah. Yeah, I have 2 pairs in hand, so I don't care. They can take the Fateful Ascent that I just got back. Hopefully protect an Otter, but by the time they've cast their second Otter, I'll hopefully have defeated Passive Scales and Clash at Mr. Vale and be able to kind of go off and find more answers to them. And even I can survive 1 attack from an Otter, even. Probably take Fateful Ascent. Overall Thought's not doing much. If I cast Overrule Thought, they could take the other one, and then I have no Overrule Thought. So I want to have at least 1. Yeah, but this is good. This is what's going to happen. Oh wait, no, that's exiled. They got 4 charts. I guess I overrule slot them because there's a Crucible in play. If they, but they know about it, so if they trade something for overrule slot, it's like deliberate choice on their part. They could just be leaving up. They could just be exiling my Discern with Corral Observatory. Okay, they're gonna let me have it. Okay, this is oh, countermeasures is huge. Okay, I'm gonna draw off a Skylord. Draw planes. That's nice. Okay, so basics. I have a mountain in my deck. Yeah, that's my last basic. Well, I'm going to defeat this Clash and kill this Casimir's before I do anything else. Mana value, yeah, mana value less than 5. This is 6. Yep, it just dies. And my spells now cost 2 less. Now we're in business. So now we have a 1 mana Discern. If they try to exile it, I'll just cast it in response. I guess I play this Primal Fissure because I can. My whole hand costs a grand total of 4 mana. I can countermeasure this passive scales, but I'd like to leave the ability to countermeasure something they play if I need to. I guess if I cast this Discern right now, I just get to draw I get to draw 2 cards and make 2/1/1s, and I could draw something I want to play right now. Like I guess there's not much I'd want to play right now. And I'd like the ability to cast Discern on my opponent's turn if they let me, so I can protect Ulf and Skylord without removing a counter from it, or in addition to removing a counter from it. Okay, they're just going to crack 2 charts. That's fine by me. Charts are at bottom of library, right? Yeah, bottom of random order. Okay, they get a temple, tap land. Okay, they're hitting their land drops, and my spells cost 2 less, so I effectively have more mana than them permanently. I'm going to be able to cast every spell I want, whenever I want, for the rest of the game. And there's not much they can do about it. Yeah. I could cast Discern right now, but there's just no need to. Right here, I don't get to draw 2 cards off Discern. I get to draw 1. Right, I want to leave Discern in my graveyard in case I defeat Passive Scales, because then I can draw 2 cards with Discern. And I'll leave the counter here. I want the protection. Although, what do they have in terms of actual removal that hits that? They could have Nether Invocation still. That would be a solution. I guess that's an instant speed answer I forgot about. They just didn't cast any of them game 1, or this game. I've just not seen that card, actually. Which is surprising, because it's 3 main, and I assume they kept them in. This has been a grind, and they got to flip a Casimir's, which would, usually that's pretty bad. But, now they are in an enormous amount of trouble. There's an Orphan Skylord they can't kill. There's a Path of Scales that's going to flip soon. They're about to cast a thing. It's another Casimir's. I'm probably gonna countermeasure that this turn. I could also double overrule slot it. Is that more use? Is that a better use of my time? No, I can overrule slot these things, right? 4, 5, 6. No, not that much longer. I can't. No, overrule slot gets a lot better once I've defeated the passive scales, whereas Fateful Ascent doesn't. So I actually probably Fateful Ascent this. Does let them draw a card off of it, I guess. I could use 2 overrule slot and they would draw no cards, or I could use 1 countermeasures or Ascent and they would draw a card. But counters were sent, they could also have counter back with cursory glance. In summary, I think it's actually overrule side here. It also gets me 2 1/1s, which, you know, those 1/1s are worth something. I mean, they're going to die to these 1/1s pretty fast. Oh, they might just let this go. I would accept that. Okay, they pay 2. Mill 3. Island Nightfall Gilded Court. Okay. I will now do it again. Another Torpor Harvester gone. I just didn't want them to interrupt me clearing this passive scales. Sure. Savvy Smith. That's really not necessary here, but it's fun. Oh, I didn't crack this Primal Fissure like a doofus. I should get my last mountain. There we go. I guess Nightfalls. There is 1 in exile, 2 in their graveyard, so I'm pretty safe from Nightfalls, and I can always, like, whatever. Like, what if the Savvy Smith not doing anything in my hand? Savvy Smith. I've cleared my passive scales. While I'm here, I think I'll cast this Discern. And I'll make a construct. And a 1/1. And I'll copy it and draw 2 cards. Look, another elephant. Oh, I can draw 6 cards with passive scales. I felt like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This costs 5. This costs 1, 1, 1. I'm very tempted by the passive scales, but if I play passive scales, I'm leaving up the same things I'm leaving up otherwise. It draws me 6 cards. I don't mind drawing 6 cards. That's a good number of cards to draw. I guess I'm not leaving up Skylord plus Ascent plus countermeasures. If I need to do all 3 of those things, there's no way I can do all 3 of those things. Let's draw 4 cards. Let's have fun in life. Okay. End step, discard to hand size 1 of these lands and this Clash. Leaving up Fateful Scent and countermeasures and activate Skylord. Any 2 of those things. Do I have lethal? 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I have lethal. Okay. I guess they could block a chasm, or they could try to and then get it countermeasured. Yeah, this seems to have done the trick. Another Casimir's? Okay, this one I'm going to say K2. They have a cancel in hand, by the way. I still know about that. Down tick against Smith. That's very rude of them. How could they do such a thing? Wait a minute. Do I have wait a minute. Do I have lethal? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 9 if I need it. 10, 11, 12, 13. They're going to gain 2 off this. There's no reason to risk it, right? Yeah. I guess if I Fateful Ascent, Wait, I could Fateful Ascent the Savvy Smith and the Casimirs right now. Oh, but they have the cancel, so yeah, none of this works. So just let it happen. They gain their 2. That's fine. They can die in 2 turns instead of 1. It's not the end of the world for me. Oh, right. Savvy Smith is exiled. Oh, they chart the Cosmos. Okay, that means they don't have the cancel up anymore. 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I need 4. I can't get 4 damage. No, okay, I've off the team. Wait, no, I do still have lethal next turn. Uh, we'll make them still have to discard something of Kaz. Countermeasures. Twice. I'm going to get to look at 4 cards with this countermeasures. They should not try to counter this. It does nothing. Yep. Well, I guess they couldn't have flipped Casimir's because they can't actually put a 5th type in their graveyard because there's a Crucible in play. That's very funny. Oh, and I make a 1/1 as I do that. I think I'm going to cast the Seafloor Treasures right now. Oh, and it's still my turn, and I'm going to cast this Seafloor Treasures and make another 1/1. View my top 2 cards. I'll take this Discern, sure. And then I'll do it again. Oh, countermeasures, sure, yeah, I'll take that. And then off the demon is lethal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14, 17. Yep. And I have actually no counterspells somehow right now, but they only have 2 mana. So yep, and I'm gonna attack all at you. There we go. Nice little 2-0 right there. Ulfin Skylord putting in the work in that game too. Okay. Well, that was kind of just how the how the control mirrors tend to go. Wow, that was an hour and a half. But I felt like not fully in control. Casimir's was pretty dangerous. I didn't have the Skylord. Um, game 1, they once again had a Casimir that I had to deal with, but we survive. We're 1-1. We get to keep playing. We need to win 2 more to make top cut and get revenge. Not on anyone in particular, just revenge in general. So good night.